Hello there YouTube, I am Wheelchair21 and welcoming in the new year is none other than Transformers Legends number 35. Get on, got on, head on, Shojin, Masterforce's Super Ginrai. Yes, we finally have Super Ginrai, which is the Takara Tomy retool of Power-Master Optimus Prime. And as one can see, the box is very different than the American version where rather have it in robot form, we have it in its trailer form. One can see that it features our Ginrai Headmaster, our overall Power-Master body, its shoulder cannons featured in the actual American release, as well as a new ion pistol or rifle, which is really cool, especially due to the fact that it actually combines together, as seen with like the deluxe toys of the toy line. So the box art is pretty wonderful as it tries to capture a little bit of the old school G1 boxes, as well as showcase the modern capabilities of the toys and promotes all of its like Twitter handles and other stuff that it does with its various subsites and comic book. Honestly, very beautiful artwork. Very good, and I love this show box kind of theme. So now that we got Ginrai out of the box, it's pretty good to assume that, one, you already know, the viewer, that this is a heavy retool of Ultra Magnus as well as the Power-Master Optimus Prime. Now, one thing I can tell you is, I don't know if mine's got some lemon qualities, meaning some screwed up issues, but the trailer doesn't really rest evenly on the vehicle, and it has this weird lopsidedness. So, right now, if you think that the camera's lopsided, no, the actual vehicle is lopsided. So, before we get into the vehicle itself, we're going to look at our little mini Ginrai here, who is painted beautifully. I mean, my god, the face is nice. The mold is great. The back of his face for the Optimus Prime face that he is inspired by is just splendid and wonderful. I honestly just love it. I like the detail. I do fear, though, that this is actually like a bit of a translucent plastic. It doesn't look clear, but it looks very thin where it could break and crack. It does have me a little worried. Honestly, though, the only thing I was afraid of was because of it using a dark black paint, I thought the pin joint might be a little harder than most of the other previously released Headmasters slash Takara Headmasters, I should say specifically, but it moves very smooth and glides real well. The arms, I don't really think it's a good idea to really force them around too much, but there is a little bit of motion to them. Overall, very nice Ginrai. Then we got our guns that, here's where I say it's partially a lemon. Now, the guns themselves are molded immensely well. They have beautiful gunmetal paint, as one can see on them. And there's nothing wrong with how they attach. They're a little loose and flimsy compared to other guns released in the line that can combine and become like a little turret. But when you're supposed to apply them to the toy, which is on the box, shows on the box, there's these holes up here on the back end. And when you try to push them in, they don't really fit real well, and it pushes pressure and weight on the actual toy itself because of the way it transforms and caves in to form his arms. Now, I would not suggest that people should really apply these or force them in. Just take your time and smoothly glide them in. As for our truck and trailer, like I said, it's wobbly. It doesn't really stay firm to the ground, which I would have thought Takara could have fixed that issue, because I've noticed that was my biggest con towards Ultra Magnus. That was pretty much one of the only reasons why I hated it in vehicle mode, as well as the fact that it sort of couldn't fit deluxes in the overall trailer end. Now, I know people have been able to jury-rig a way to get a deluxe in here, because a lot of photo galleries showed people putting in the Nightbeat mold, which is Go Shooter in Japan, into here. Now, I don't see any possibility on how you can do it due to how the torso and the arms block it. I'm guessing what someone was able to do was to flip that all the way over somehow in mid-transformation, lock this back up, and then was able to lock it in place. I don't know how that is. I would have to go ask the people on TF World specifically how to do so. But overall has the original Ginrai-like feel with the modern-day-like cab. Has a good sway to it. The swivel joint works real good. I think it's a lot smoother than the other incarnations that it's been used on. And honestly, wonderfully painted, casted and molded. So now I put it in base form, which I'm pretty sure I might have it a slightly mistransformed. I followed the instructions, I looked at the picture on the box, and this is what I got when I did so. I mean, this thing looks a little weird. I like how it looks visually, how it's shown in promotional artwork, but how it actually is in its transformed state in person, it looks kind of terrible, cheap, and doesn't hold together as well as they make you think it should. First off, I don't like how it balances on the legs as much, as well as the side plates for our trailer. I do like the fact that they move and bend easily. I just feel like, though, it's going to wear and tear on the toy overall. As well as the way that its back satellite turret system works or whatever, it's just crazy. It's just really the arms holding the guns covered up by the back top roof of the actual trailer. And the overall cabin, the truck part of our convoy, is still intact. So, even though it's a cool, interesting feature that Bandai and Takara wanted to have, like, a city builder system where I could then take, well, any other Leader or even Fortress Maximus and attach them to each other through the connector ports on the sides of the trailer, I don't think it's that well efficiently made for the Ginrai or Power-Master Optimus Prime mold. I do feel, however, that the actual broadcast, or should we say blaster, or sound wave, sound blaster, whichever you would like to say, probably connect better and hold well with the overall city-like design. I heard that they're kind of pushing that out of the overall systems now, so future Leaders probably will not have this intricate ideal formation produced into them. We now finally come to our robot, and one can easily see that Ginrai looks superb. The detail, the paint, just looks amazing. The remold and the recast, just grand. Now, the retools and redesigns do slightly hurt the figure and cause it to have some flaws, mostly in how the feet are designed. Right here, as one can see, it's not flush, it's not a smooth kind of foot, so it does cause issues with the balance. As well as the back end of these heels, they don't really like to stay down well. They're not really tight, they're very smooth. Now, one can easily fix them by just tightening the screws, and probably that's the best way to fix it overall. Now, I would say probably disassemble some areas and put clear nail polish on them, just to make them a lot tighter, as well as, well, the legs don't really stay together, but neither did Ultra Magnus's or its American counterpart. So, there's nothing you can really do there except do the clear nail polish technique that I'm promoting right now. One of the crazier things about this toy is, unlike any other version we've seen to date, it has really tight hip joints and a ratchet joint inside. It's so freaking loud and obnoxious and hard to do that it actually dislodges the torso, or I should say, the protector to the cabin of the truck, which is probably the weirdest thing about the toy overall. I would say, like I said, most of its issues do come with balance and the legs. So you can easily overlook that and just display it as is, but tighten it first. Just tighten it. One reason why I specifically got Ginrai over the Power-Master Optimus Prime is I wanted one that looked specifically like Ginrai. I wanted one that specifically was an up-tooled, updated, highly articulated version of the original Power-Master Optimus Prime. And this is it. This is the one that I wanted. And a lot of it has to deal with the fact that I watched Masterforce growing up. I seen it by the age of, like, 12, and that was nearly 13 years ago. Yeah, because I'm 25 this year. And so I saw that literally half of my lifespan ago. Then I watched Headmasters and Victory. And Headmasters is probably my favorite of the three, but Masterforce holds a special place in my heart because it introduced me to the Japanese trilogy. So I want to get a lot of characters from that series specifically. One can easily find this figure places at like BBTS, TF Source, any of the other affiliate like Transformer selling sites like Robot Kingdom, The Chosen Prime most likely, as well as places like AmiAmi, HobbyLink Japan. And I wouldn't say CS Toys Japan because they mostly deal with Toku, so don't expect there some of my Toku fans. Nevertheless, you can find this video here and other Transformers on my channel, which I insist you subscribe, and maybe hit me up with some messages to see if I have other Transformers one would like me to review. But you can mostly see my Bandai products here, or over at Hero Club and HeroTaku.com. You can follow me also on Instagram, Twitter, like my page on Facebook, and I'll see you all next time because, well, this is just only our introduction to 2017, the rolling review of Legends 35 Super Ginrai.